Hey, what's going on guys, it's Hanson here. So we're going to go ahead and get started and work on a simple modmail bot. So the way this is going to work is very simple. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the users who need to report someone, for example. They're going to go ahead and simply just send our bot a DM. So let me just run my bot real quick. So right over here, you can see our bot's on. So this is my bot right over here. So I'm going to send the bot a DM. And then we're going to get a message over here. And then we can see who it's from. We can reject it. And when we reject it, it's going to say your message was rejected. So if we try to send it, it's not going to work. They have to wait 30 seconds. Let's restart the bot so we don't have to actually wait the 30 seconds. All right, let's send the message again. So you can see the message is over here now. And I'm going to accept it. So now we can actually start communicating. So I can say hello. And then over here, you'll see that it says the moderator or staff member that is sending the message, hello. And I can send a message, hello. And then we can go ahead and say, what can I do for you? And if other staff members want to also contribute, they can also send their message and the end user will actually see that message. And also, we can send files as well. So let me go ahead and send a file. So I'll just send a picture and you can see that we have the attachment. And obviously I can send an attachment from here and the end user will see it as well. Okay, so that's pretty much a demonstration of how this modmail bot is going to work. So let's go ahead and implement it. All right, so keep in mind we are going to be using my new CLI tool that I recently created. You can check out how it works. I'm going to leave a link in the description, but it's called Slappy. And basically what you want to do is you want to install Slappy globally. Okay, so basically we're just going to generate a new project. So let's call it modmail Discord bot. Okay, so I need to get my bot token. Okay, so I'm just gonna use the prefix as $. And let's just cd into our directory. So let's open up Visual Studio Code. Okay, and you can see right out of the box that our bot is going to work. Okay, and I can just simply do test and the test command works. Okay, but we're not going to be using any commands at all. The structure of the Slappy project is the same structure as the multi-guild Discord bot. So if you're following that series, then you can just easily integrate this. It's very simple. So what we're going to do is we're going to go inside message.js. And I'm actually going to create a new event called directMessage.js. And we're going to copy and paste the structure, and inside this super call over here to the super class constructor, we're going to name the event direct message. The reason why I'm doing this is because I want to separate my direct message logic away from the actual message event logic, if that makes sense. So for example, we're going to check to see if the message.channel.type, we're going to check to see if the user DMs the bot, and if the user does DM the bot, we're going to emit our own custom event. So emit direct message, and we're just going to pass in the message as a parameter. So I'll make show you how this works. So let's just console log inside DM event. Okay, and I'll just go ahead and console log inside message event. Now our bot's going to restart. So let me send my bot a DM. You're going to see it says inside message event, and it also says inside DM event. So this direct message event is being emitted whenever we send a user a DM. Okay, and we should also return so that way this other stuff doesn't get triggered. Okay, and like I said, the Slappy tool, same thing as the multi-guild Discord bot. Whenever you create your own custom events, it's all going to be handled by the register events function. So you don't have to worry about registering your custom events at all. The register events function is going to do it for you. So now we can focus on implementing the logic of directMessage.js. So what we're going to do is we're simply just going to first check to see. We want to make sure that the user does not have any tickets at all. So we can keep track of this by simply creating a map. So let's do const opened tickets equal new map. Obviously we're calling it tickets, but ideally they're really just, the current session of the user. So we're going to create a new map. So over here, we're checking to see if the user does not have a ticket, because what we're going to do is we're going to set their ID inside the map. So if they don't have a ticket, then we'll create one for them. So let's just go ahead and send a message to the user. So from here, we're just simply going to go ahead and reference our open tickets map and set the ID of the author that sent the DM to the bot. And we're just going to set this to the guild for now. This bot is going to only work for one guild. If you want it to work for multiple guilds, you're going to have to write a simple prompt that's going to check what guild that they want to start the session for. So this is going to send a message to the user who sent the message via DM. So it's kind of like a confirmation. What we need to do next, we need to have a channel set up on our server. So this is the destination channel. This is where all of the user messages are going to be sent to. You're just going to create a simple channel. We're going to get the ID, and then I'm going to go up here and I'm going to just declare a variable called destination. And that's just going to be the ID of the channel, nothing too crazy. And we're just going to get the channel. So const channel equals client.channels.get or cache.get because we're on version 12. So we're going to get the channel right over here. And of course, you always want to make sure that the channel exists. And if the channel does not exist, we'll just send some kind of message to the user. We'll just say something went wrong. Please reach out to a server staff directly. And from here, we're also going to have to delete the ID, the author's ID from the map. All right, so now we're just going to go ahead and create a message embed. So we're going to import that. I'll probably import that up over here. And we are going to require that from the Discord.js module. So this is going to import the message embed class. So we'll just simply do const embed equals do message embed. Obviously, you don't need to do message embed, but I personally like embedded messages. So a new modmail message. And we'll do set author. And we'll just set the tag of the author as the name. And to get the URL of their icon, we just simply do display avatar URL. And then for the description, we'll set the content of the message. And then we'll just go ahead and send the message to the channel. So notice how we're referencing channel.send and not message.send, because channel.send is going to send the message to the guild channel. Okay, if we did message.channel.send, that is going to send it to the DM channel, and we don't want that. Okay, so channel.send, send the embed message. And now we're going to need to react to the message. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use 2 custom emojis. You can use whatever emojis you want, but I'm going to use my 2 custom emojis over here. And now I'm going to get the ID of them. And so to do that, we're going to do a backward slash. Let me zoom in a little bit. Accept underscore emoji. So it's backward slash colon accept underscore emoji colon. So it's the name of your emoji, and then you type enter. And it's going to return the string in the chat. And let's do the same for reject. Okay, and we're just gonna get the ID. Let's go over here. Let's call this accept. Let me just make sure that I got it right. Yep, accept. And we're going to need the reject emoji as well. There we go. So we're gonna just use custom emojis for now. You can use whatever emoji you want. Like I said, you can even use the Unicode emojis. And we're just gonna simply do await message.react accept, and then await message.react reject. So this is just reacting with the ID of the emoji, nothing too crazy. Okay, so let's go ahead and test this out. So I'm gonna go ahead and send a message now. Okay, so you can see right over here that the message is right over here with the reactions. And you can see right over here, I have the confirmation message. That's pretty much it for that part. Now we just need to listen to the reaction. We want to make sure that we are checking which reaction that the user is reacting to. So we're going to use await reactions for this. So let's do a simple try catch. And inside the try, we're going to go ahead and do const reactions equal await message dot await reactions. Reaction filter. So we're gonna need a filter. Now for the options, we're gonna take in a max of 1 emoji or max of 1 reaction, and we're just gonna set the time to 10,000. Okay, obviously you can set this to a longer time. I would say maybe set it to an hour, because your staff might be AFK or something. There might not be someone there to actually accept the message. We're gonna need to also declare a filter. Now this filter is gonna take in 2 parameters for the function, reaction, and the user, and we just want to make sure that the user, so the staff member, is reacting with the correct emojis. So accept, reject. We're going to make sure that whatever emoji that they're reacting with, the ID is inside this array. Okay, so emoji reaction.emoji.id. And if you want to compare names, you would obviously do reaction.emoji.name, and you would pass in the name of the emoji inside this array. So essentially, when I react, okay, we're basically just referencing these 2 strings up here. I declared a variable for each one of them. And ideally what's going on is we're just simply saying, hey, look, if the ID of the emoji that they reacted with is inside this array, okay, so if it includes either one of these IDs, then we're going to pass that. And we're also making sure that the user is not a bot. The person that's reacting is not a bot. So they have only 10 seconds to react. And if they don't react, then an error is going to be thrown down over here. And the reason why an error is going to be thrown is because we're just simply going to do errors time. And we'll just simply say that, let me log error. We'll just simply say, and of course we need to delete them from the map. So that way we can actually allow them to open up a new, quote unquote ticket. So far, so good. And after we get the reactions, okay, so like I said, if 10 seconds pass and they don't react, it's going to throw an error, and we're going to catch it down over here. That's the reason why we have to try catch. But if they do react, then we're going to have to get the actual reaction, the actual emoji that they reacted with. So we're going to do const choice equals reactions. So what's returned from await reactions is a promise, which resolves a collection of all of the message reactions, which is over here. The reactions variable is going to be the collection of all of the reactions, and they're mapped by IDs. So we're going to either get accept or we're going to get reject. So we're passing in the ID, because remember the collections are mapped by their ID. And then from here, we're going to check to see if emoji.id is equal to accept. And if it's equal to accept, so if the IDs are the same with accept, then that means they accepted it. However, if the ID of the emoji is equal to reject, then that means they rejected the staff rejected their message. So we'll just say your message was rejected. You may try again later. And this is where you might want to set a timeout to prevent people from actually spamming. So we'll just simply do a set timeout, open tickets, delete them from the map after, let's say, 30 seconds. Okay. But we'll obviously shorten this to 10 seconds so we can actually test it easier. Alright, so let's try this out right now before we do anything else. So I'm going to send a message. Now I'm going to reject it. Now right here I got a DM. It says your message was rejected. You may try again later. If I try to send another message again, it's not going to work. Okay, but now 10 seconds has passed. If I send a message again, we get another message. Of course I can reject it again and I'll get the same message, obviously. Let's wait another 10 seconds. Notice how no message is being sent, but I just sent a new one. Now let's accept it, and there we go. And from here, with the accept part, we're just going to need to start the collectors. That's where we're going to start the two-way communication between the user's DM channel as well as the destination channel on the guild. So let's go back into our code. And right over here, if they accept the message, okay, let me actually let me show you one more thing real quick. Let me send the message. What's going on? Oh, we already have a session already with the DM, so let's restart. So watch, if I don't accept it within the next 10 seconds, an error is going to be thrown down here. It's going to be an empty collection. See? There we go. Perfect. And then I got a DM saying no one was available to accept your query. Please try again. Alright, so from here, we're going to go inside the accept condition. So if choice.emoji.id is the same as the ID of the accept emoji, we're going to simply create two collectors. Okay, so we're going to create a function down here called handle collectors. I don't want to put everything up over here, so I'm just going to create a separate function for this. We're going to take in two parameters, channel and message. And inside here, we're going to return a new promise. And this promise is going to have a callback function inside the constructor. And it takes two parameters, resolve and reject. So from here, what we want to do is we want to start up our collectors. So I'll declare them up here. So let's do const DM collector equals. So this is going to collect all messages from the DM channel. Okay, and then we're going to send those messages to the destination channel. So we're going to create a message collector on the DM channel. Okay, remember, because message is the message that was sent by the user. Okay, they sent the message to the bot in DMs. So when we reference message.channel, that's going to be a DM channel. And I have a typo right over here. And we're going to pass in a filter. Okay, we're not going to pass in any options. So const filter. We're just going to make sure that the author, the IDs are the same. Message the author ID. So this ensures that the person that is sending the DM to the bot is the same person who sent the first message to the bot to start up the modmail prompt. We're going to need another collector, so I'll just call this guild channel collector equals channel. So channel is the guild channel. Okay, we're gonna have to pass these parameters inside this function over here. So channel.create message collector, and we're gonna pass in a guild collector filter. And I'll just declare the filter down here. Okay, so from here, we want to make sure that the ID of the channel is the same as the destination channel. Otherwise, it's going to collect every single message in the guild. So we're just going to compare it to channel.id. And then we're also going to make sure that bot messages are not being collected. So not m.author.bot. Okay, and that's it. Okay, cool. So we're done with our collectors. We're done with our filters. So inside this callback function, resolve, comma, reject. Inside over here, we're going to listen to the collectors events. So DM collector on. So the collect events takes in a message. Okay, that's the message that was collected, and that message is only collected if it passes the filter. So from here, we're going to go ahead and just simply send a message to the user. So we'll do channel.send. So notice how we're collecting messages inside the DMs, and we're sending the message to the destination channel, which is channel over here. So I'll just simply do author m.author.tag, and we'll get the ID m.author.id, and then we'll send their message, their content, and then we'll worry about the files later. Let me just do this part real quick, and then we're going to reference guild channel collector on. We're going to listen to the collect event. This collector, like I said, is going to listen to all messages in the guild channel. It's going to collect all those messages and then send it to the user DM. So we're going to actually do one thing real quick. We're going to check to see if the content is equal to a prefix stop. So this is going to stop the collector, because let's say, for example, if the moderators are done with the person's request, via modmail bot, then they want to stop the collector. Otherwise, it's going to stay on forever. So we want to stop the collectors when we use this command. So when we do -stop, we're going to reference guild channel collector. We're going to stop the collector, and then we're going to do dm collector.stop, and then we're just going to resolve. Okay, so since this whole function is going to return a promise, when we call this function up here, we're going to have to await that promise. So that way, once we're done, we're going to send a message to the user telling them that everything's good. Now, if they didn't type this message, then we're just simply going to go ahead and go into else case, and we're going to reference message.author, because now we're going to send the guild's message into the DM. So we're going to call that function inside the body of the choice.emoji.id equals accept condition. So await, and we're going to have to pass in the channel as well as the message. So let's try this again. Accept it. So now, if I say H, you can see that my other account sent that message. If I say hello, you can hear the DM sound, or actually I have my sound muted, but you can see right over here that I got another message from the moderator, or it could be any moderator. So I'll just say, how are you? And you can see that the message is right over here. And if I send another message on my alt account, I need help with someone on the server being rude, and we'll see their message, and it's pretty straightforward. And if I do stop, and if I send a message again, notice how I'm sending a message over here, and it's not sending any messages anymore because we stopped the collector, which is good. If I send a message here, we're not going to get that message on the user's DM, which is good. So let me do one more thing real quick. So when we actually stop the collector, we're resolving the promise, okay? So we're going to go up over here, and we'll just send them a message, just simply saying, thank you for using we'll call this Anson mail, and we have to delete them from the map, okay? Otherwise, they won't be able to use the modmail bot anymore. And I think that should be it. So let's test this out. So I'm going to say hello. So I'm going to accept it. Hi. I need help with, and then you can see the other messages over here. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and stop the collector, and you can see, thank you for using Antimail. Feel free to reach out later. And if I type a message here, it's not going to send to the other DM channel. Now I'm going to go ahead and say hello. We have another request. I can reject it, and it's going to go ahead and say your message was rejected. You may try again later. And that's pretty much straightforward. That's really it. That's really, obviously we can make this a little bit more complex. We can create new channels for each ticket, or for each user's request. But let's go ahead and do one last thing, and that's sending the attachments, because I know everyone wants to make sure that they can send attachments. That's very important. So we're going to create a new function called get attachment links, and this is going to take in one parameter. It's going to be the message attachments collection. We're simply going to go ahead and use a regular expression to make sure that we're only taking in image attachments. You can obviously change this up to whatever you want, but we're going to make sure that the attachment ends with either .gif, .png, .jpeg, or .jpg. You don't really have to worry so much about this regular expression. Just understand that what this regular expression is responsible for is ensuring that the attachment URL ends with either .gif, .png, .jpeg, or the other .jpeg format. And we're just going to simply return attachments. So first, what I'm going to do is attachments is actually a collection. We're going to convert it to an array, and I'm going to call it .filter. filter, and we're just simply going to go through every single attachment, and I'm going to test the regular expression on this attachment's URL. And if it passes the regular expression test, that means it's a valid image format. And of course, you can add more image formats, but we're just going to leave it like that for now. And I'm going to call .map. I only want the URL of the attachments, so we're going to call .map, because let me actually pull up the documentation real quick, because essentially the attachments collection is a collection of all of the message attachments, and we only want the URL. So I'm simply just going to return a new array of all URLs. So .map is going to transform that array. And right over here, inside our collectors, before we send the message, we're just simply going to do const files equals get attachment links. And I'm going to go ahead and pass an m.attachments, because message has the property attachments. Okay. And we're going to do the same thing down here. And to pass in the attachments now, or the files, we're going to need to pass in a second parameter, which is going to be an options, and we're going to just simply pass in files and do the same thing down here. So what's happening here is we're passing in an object, and files is a property, and it takes in an array of files. So you can actually pass in remote URLs, for example, .jpeg. So it's going to look for the remote URL, and it's going to send it to the user. But since we already have the variable name the same as the property name, we can just leave it like files. We don't have to do files, okay? Likewise, we don't have to do that down here as well. You could do that, but it's just a short way of doing the same thing that we were doing before right over here. Okay, so now let's try this again. I'm going to start up the bot. So let's accept it. So let's send a message. So now on my other account, I'm going to go ahead and send an image. And there we go. Perfect. I can send an image from here onto the DM channel and it'll work just fine. Let me send another image. There we go. Pretty straightforward. Hello, hi. And that's pretty much it. So you can see right over here, we have our messages. And we can stop it. And that is pretty much it. So hopefully you guys like this video. Okay, I know it was a long video, but hopefully it was worth it. But just to kind of recap with everything that we did, from the very beginning, all we did was we emitted our own custom event, because I wanted to keep all the direct message logic in a separate file. So when the user DMs a message to the bot, we're checking to see if the channel type is a DM. And if it is, we're just going to emit this direct message event. And then we're handling that event in this file over here. So we're checking to see if the user is not in the map. If they're not in the map, that means that they don't have a current, quote unquote ticket being opened. So we're going to open up a ticket for them. We send them the confirmation message. We send the guild channel the message over here. And if we accept it, that means that we are allowing them to communicate with the moderators. If we reject it, then they won't be able to use the feature. They won't be able to use the modmail bot for a while. And then over here, we're just simply handling all of our messages being sent back and forth. So inside the DM collector, okay, when we listen to the collect event, we're just getting all of the attachments, and then we're simply just sending the message to the guild channel inside the DM collector's collect event. And we're doing the opposite with the guild channel collector event. Whenever the user sends a message in the guild channel, we're going to send that message to the DM channel, and that's pretty much it. And whenever we do -- stop, it's just going to stop both collectors. It's going to resolve, and it's going to return back up over here, okay, because we awaited the handle collectors function call. And then we send thank you for using Antimail, feel free to reach out later, and then we delete them from the map, and then we can use another ticket again. So it's pretty straightforward, nothing too crazy. And that's pretty much it. So hopefully you guys like this video, and I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.